Hey fam, I know a lot of people been calling me and asking me and sending out condolences about Wanda. It's been a very difficult 24 hours. I actually got the call yesterday at about 4 o'clock, and I just needed 24 hours to process everything in my mind and what I really wanted to say. I was actually in my yard doing my son Paxton's christening and having friends and family over to see the baby. And I got that call. And it's kind of been, God is something else. It's been that way. I was at my son's going home back in May. And then 2 days later, my son Paxton was born. Right before, this happened last weekend, I got a call that my nephew, who was 8 years old, passed away on the playground. It's just been a lot of death, and it's been really hard, trying to stay up for everybody, and just haven't really had time to process it all like I really wanted to. And now I find myself, even yesterday at Paxton's christening, I found myself crying, publicly in front of everybody, because it's difficult, when you lose somebody you love. And Wanda was definitely somebody that I really loved. I actually first saw Wanda back in '96. I had come to Atlanta to sit in with Mike Roberts on his show just to learn how to do a morning show. And that night we went out to a club in the underground in Atlanta. I wasn't even living in Atlanta. And I saw this woman come on stage. She had a Hennessy in her hand with a red straw, and she was sipping on the Hennessy and that gold tooth in the front. And she was funny as hell. And I said, if I ever do a morning show here, that's who I want. And look at God. A couple years later, I got to take over for Mike Roberts when he retired. And they came to me and said, hey, we got an idea. We know this girl named Wanda who's been sitting in with Mike Roberts. I said, absolutely. And then we started back in 1998. We went from 98 to 2013 and had #1 ratings. We were #1 for 15 years. And I say we because me and her, it wasn't me. It was just the both of us together, the synergy that we had. When I was low, she was high. When she was low, I was high. We basically encouraged each other, but we each had a gift. And her gift that I had to learn was empathy to people. She taught me that. Wanda cared about the people that didn't really have. And I think it's because she never forgot where she came from. She never forgot. Whenever there was a time to give, Wanda was first in line. And she didn't want to do it impersonal. She wanted to really do it personally with people. When 9/11 happened, me, Wanda, Griff, Tara Thomas, Chuck Smith, we all slept outside at the old Brave Stadium. And we slept outside 24 hours in a camper and raised over $250,000 for the firefighters in New York. And then we took it to New York before New York was even open, like 2 days after 9/11. And we went down to the site. I'll never forget that. When Katrina happened, we were outside of Club 112, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars. And she would not let me just raise the money. We raised the money, and we got food and everything. And we got Orlando from Atlanta Peach Movers sent trucks, and we loaded up them semi trucks and drove. She wanted to drive the stuff to Louisiana, to New Orleans herself. And I just remember we went into Sister's restaurant and they just hugged her. We went to South Africa together. We brought people to South Africa that never been on a plane. And she was insistent on taking people to get their passports. And it was her first time out the country too. But she wanted everybody to go together to get passports. She was just an incredible person like that, and it's hard. But I'll miss her. And I just want really everybody to know that last year, Wanda and I reconnected, and we had really good talk. And I suggested that she join me on the morning show at KISS. And I went to KISS, to the management. And I went to the head people and had dinner with them at Lobster Bar. And I told them, I said, Wanda needs to come on this show. And they interviewed her. The program director, the general manager, the vice president, everybody interviewed her. And we were going to do it. Wanda was going to come back on the air with me. And she went down to Florida for a reunion, and she got sick. And there was one thing, then another thing, then another thing. And Wanda's she's super private. She didn't want anybody to know. She didn't want anybody to know. I remember I sent her flowers in the hospital, and she sent me a text and was like, thank you and Patrice for the flowers, but how did you know? And I wouldn't tell her my source, but that's when I knew she was public for everybody else and private inside. She was beautiful. I'm sorry the video is going long. I'm going to post another video that she actually did about herself after this video, but I miss you, babe. She was my radio wife, for real, for real. She really was. Tavares and Giovanni, thank you. Janice, thank you. Denise, thank you. Man, just the whole family. Thank you for sharing her with me and my family. And I love you, girl.